One of the things that gets in the way of our performance, or being able to deliver our best in any moment, is mental interference. And I've seen this time and time again over my sales career. I've seen it with my sales teams, I've seen it with myself, and now with coaching clients, that inner chatter, that constant negative internal chatter that can take us down or hold us back or stop us from taking action more consistently. And the foundation of all my coaching is exploring what mental interference is, how it occurs, and the mechanics of how our mind works, so that we can access the natural potential that is always already within us more frequently. And that seems like a simple process, but one of the things that is so difficult for human beings to understand is that everything we have is created through thought. 6 years ago, I had an idea to start a business, so I created that business from that thought, from that idea. Last year, I had an idea to develop an online program. So I created that program from a thought, from an idea. And it blows my mind daily to see that everything that has ever been created, all human advancement, buildings, parks, technology, businesses, everything we see around us has come from a thought. But the reason it's so difficult for us to comprehend that, for us to get our head around that, is because thought is invisible. We're not aware of it mostly, we're blind to it. We're like fish swimming in water, and the water is thought. So we have a tendency to blame things out there, as if they were there before our thinking about it, as if out there is somehow the problem. And the challenge with that perspective, or more, it's an innocent misunderstanding, is that in order for us to solve that problem out there, when we see it as out there, is that we either have to go around it, or we have to go over it, or we have to go through it, or we have to eliminate it altogether. And that becomes sometimes impossible when that problem is a boss, or a co-worker, or a job, or a family member. That's why you see that we have a $7 billion personal development industry and over 130 psychological modalities or methods or techniques or strategies of how to deal with our anxiety, our worry, our stress, lack of confidence, lack of fulfillment. Because everyone is having a unique experience of thought, but perceiving that to be out there. And then trying to organize out there and maneuver ourselves or our situation into an order of how we think it should be so we can be happy or feel successful. And there's a lot of mental interference that comes with that. So all of our problems come from our thinking, and all of our brilliant ideas and solutions come from our thinking. And that means because of this incredible gift of thought, we have the capacity to use it to create the circumstance for ourselves that we desire. We are idea generators. And then we experience those ideas from moment to moment to moment. And that's a really helpful place to start exploring if you're feeling discontent with where you're at in your career or your business. If you're feeling a lack of fulfillment or a lack of confidence, or if you're experiencing self-doubt or frustration with where you are in your business right now, or where you are in your career. When I was leading sales teams, I was fascinated at the different experiences between two salespeople that would have the same sales target, that have the same opportunities or territory, that have the same training, leadership, environment, tools, and yet one would thrive under pressure at the end of the month to try and hit his target, and another would temporarily crumble and experience high volumes of stress. And that person would say to me, my targets are too high, or the leads are rubbish, or the prices are too high. And when that looked like it was their challenge or creating their stress, then they'd feel a sense of hopelessness. And that's the mental interference that affects our performance. It affects our potential shining through. And so it's crucial for us to look at this, to thrive in our business and our career if we want sustainable change, transformational results. And so it's what I'm doing with my clients regularly, is having a very simple yet profound conversation about the link between those two things. The current state of your work, of your business, of your career, and the fact that your experience is a mirror of the potential you have. There's a huge opportunity for possibility to come out of seeing the link between those two things. How you're using your mind and what's possible for you. The link between how you're using your mind and the problems that you're experiencing. Without that mental interference, you're left with a settled mind and your intrinsic potential, which is innate clarity, innate resilience, ability to bounce back, the knowing of what to do next, and a better headspace to make decisions and more solutions that can become available to you. You see more opportunities, you see new ways of doing things, you get a fresh perspective on how your reality works. That what helps an individual A family, a business is understanding the mechanics of how our mind works, the nature of thought, and our own perceived reality.